the advent of the 2019 COVID virus and the entire world being sent into lockdown, safety measures for those who had to interact and go into the public included extra sanitation, social distancing, and masks. Wearing masks for longer periods of time has been suspected to cause maskne. Maskne are two facial dermatoses or skin conditions caused by masks on the face. These two facial dermatoses include acne mechanica, which is acne caused by pressure and friction on the skin. You can see that in the rightmost picture, how the area where most masks rub on the skin, there is acne and irritation. Rosacea, the other facial dermatosis, which is redness and pus-filled bumps on the face. That's shown in the picture to the left, how the subject has what looks like a severe rash right where masks come into contact with our faces. However, the problem lies in how essential masks are to all of us when it comes to surviving and eliminating the coronavirus. Research is being done on the subject, and the easy solution would be to not wear masks. But because of how important masks are, the goal of research on this subject is to observe current trends and correlations between using masks and developing acne and rosacea. Ways to decrease the chances of developing these dermatoses without compromising the use of masks are being done research upon. This virus is a really unexpected turn in all of our lives that began in late 2019, but the world has acted pretty quickly to lock down, and we now have vaccines widely available. Despite this, research on side effects of practices done to protect ourselves from the viruses, like wearing masks, is in its early stages. Consultations for skin problems caused by masks, and in general dermatology, have decreased because many people are reluctant to go to doctors' offices during COVID unless they really have to. And so observations and research done on this topic hasn't been done too extensively. Ways to prevent the likelihood of developing maskne have been found, although they are just practices and not as effective as any treatments or medicine. The first way to decrease the likelihood of developing maskne is to wear cloth masks over surgical masks. I and many others used to think that surgical masks were somehow more secure than other masks, and sometimes they are. But a secure cloth mask is better than secure surgical masks because of the decreased friction upon the face. Cloth masks that rub on your skin less decrease your chances of developing acne than using surgical masks. Another way of lowering your chances of developing maskne is to throw away your one-use masks after using them for 4 hours straight or for 3 days. These masks do get dirty, and the bacteria on the masks can cause you to develop maskne. Reducing the amount of sunscreen and ointments that you put on your face also work to prevent maskne. These ointments have a tendency to clog your pores the more you are exposed to humidity, which is exactly what masks do when you wear them for substantial amounts of time. These ways of preventing maskne help, but research is being done on exactly what seems to be causing maskne, and if any biological factors on an individual basis cause this as well. When tests were done, test subjects that had already had stable acne and didn't were chosen to serve as a comparison and to show if masks simply cause maskne or even exacerbate a previous case of acne. Subjects were chosen from many groups, and importantly groups that may already be predisposed to having maskne, such as teenagers and healthcare workers that wear masks for longer periods of time. Of course, when you do a statistical analysis between finding the correlation between two things, in this situation, the use of masks and the development of acne and other dermatoses, other variables can come into play in order to find the most accurate results, you must account for all other variables. In this situation, The general physical health of the test subjects and skin diseases the subjects may have were considered, because these factors definitely play a part in developing skin conditions. Maskne is defined as acne or rosacea in the facial area that occurs 6 weeks after continuous mask use. For that reason, tests on maskne were conducted over the course of 6 weeks in controlled settings. Test subjects were tested for maskne on day 1 of the study and after 6 weeks. The scales used to examine them measured the severity of skin conditions on their faces as well as their quality of life. At the end of the study, patients reported a decrease in quality of life. One half of maskne is the condition of acne mechanica, acne caused by friction or pressure on the skin. At the beginning and end of the study, test subjects were tested for acne in 6 different areas of the face, as well as the forehead, chest, and back were tested in order to determine if masks are causing this condition. After 6 weeks, subjects all showed signs of worsened acne on every area of their face tested, except for the forehead, and no signs of worsened acne on the chest and back. Only areas covered by masks had worsened, and quality of life had also decreased for the test subjects. This chart over here shows the difference between T0, day 1 of the study, and T1, 6 weeks after the study. The increase in each value shows an increase in the severity of the skin condition, as well as the decrease in quality of life. Tests were done the same way when testing for rosacea. However, there are different types of rosacea, even though we may think a rash is a rash. And for this reason, subjects were divided up by the type of rosacea they had. This is shown in the chart where you see the 3 segments dividing results based on the type of rosacea. On the 5 different scales measuring the severity of rosacea and the patient's quality of life, rosacea worsened regardless of the type it was in patients, and their quality of life all worsened at varying degrees. The tests done proved that regardless of the type of condition that patients had, the backgrounds, occupations, and other factors, maskne worsened in every test subject to some degree, with consistent use of masks. It proved that other factors were not to blame for the skin condition people developed when wearing masks. We learned with this simple sample size that generally speaking, maskne is triggered by the usage of masks with no regards to most demographic factors. Masks are still very important though for the safety of everyone, and because we cannot stop wearing masks, there will be an increase in rates of maskne as long as the pandemic continues. Vaccines should be widely available soon, and hopefully herd immunity will come into effect soon after. This isn't a solution to this issue, but the first step in solving all problems is to recognize the issue exists, as has happened with maskne. This is a new topic though, and future research will be done on this subject to find ways of eliminating maskne without eliminating the use of masks. In the future, I plan on becoming a clinical dermatologist, consulting patients and performing surgery. This is what my mentor, Dr. Fukori at Skin Cancer Specialists here in Sugarland, does, and my experiences mentoring under him have solidified what was once, I might want to do this in the future, to this is what I want to do in the future. I've always been pretty curious though, and I like doing research in topics that interest me. In the future, I'd like to do research on trends in medicine like this one here, maskne, observing them in the clinical setting in my patients, and researching them in order to find cures and treatments in order to advance the field of medicine forward. I'd like to give a special thank you to Ms. Bryant and the GT Mentorship Program for providing me with this opportunity and always supporting me in whatever I did. I'd also like to thank Dr. Fakori for letting me experience the medical setting at his clinic and solidifying the goal I've had moving forward towards now and in the future.